This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Welcome. Today is January 22nd. It's 6 p.m. and we are in conference room 1 of 50 Payson Avenue, aka the Town Hall of City of Easthampton. I'm sorry, City Hall of City of Easthampton. This is the Property Subcommittee meeting. We have all three of our members present. Myself, Councilor J.P. Kwasinski, and Councilor Tom Peak are here. I believe that we do not have any minutes to approve. There might be some lingering minutes from the last term, which I'll speak to the clerk about to see if we need to put those forward for approval. At this time, I will accept public speak from any members of the public who wish to speak about items other than those that are on the agenda. We do have business before us regarding some poll locations on Loudville Road. If you would like to speak about that item, you will have an opportunity when we get to that agenda item. So at this time, any members who are here physically or on the hybrid, if you would like to speak, please use the raise hand function. Okay, seeing none, we can move into our new business, which is a poll location request from Eversource on Loudville Road, 4 new utility poles and 4 relocated poles. This is a request from Eversource. Essentially, they are doing a reconductor project, and my understanding is that the conductor that they are installing requires shorter spans, so there will be a relocation of 4 poles on Loudville Road, as well as 4 mid-span poles that they were required to be installed as well along a few locations, 4 locations on Loudville Road, which are available in the council agenda packet from the first week in December 2023. Before I get started with the the representative from Eversource that is here, are there any preliminary comments from the members of the committee? Okay, seeing none. Are there any comments from the public initially as we get into this? And again, there's no one here physically other than the members of the committee. If any members of the public would like to make any comments, please feel free to use the raise hand function. Okay, seeing none. We have a representative from Eversource here, Adam, and you can correct me once you come on. Jelf from Eversource, and I will turn it over to you, sir, both to allow me to know exactly how to pronounce your last name, as well as to present this proposal to us. So take it away, sir.
Thank you, Owen. And you were pretty close with the last name. It's Yelf.
Yelf, okay.
So first off, thank you for letting me attend this meeting to propose these relocations of these poles. If it helps at all, I can share my screen to go a little bit into exactly where these new locations would be. Is that preferable?
Yes, please. Do I need to, can you do that from your side? Do I have to make you a co-host or anything like that?
I'm going to give it a shot. If you give me 1 sec. Let me know if you can see.
Yes, I can.
Okay, fantastic.
You want to come over here?
Is it possible to enlarge
Yeah, let me see if I can figure that out.
or to pull up?
I might be able to put it up there, but if this is acceptable for you. I'll give us 1 second, Adam, just doing some technical things here, seeing if there's any way to minimize. I think this screen is small to begin with, so because he goes in the other ones, I can hold them up from here too, JP.
You could put the computer here. You could show it.
Sure.
See,
Yeah.
we're talking.
Yeah. Okay, Adam, please proceed. Thank you. We're just getting through a few little minor technical issues.
All right, understood.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Sure. So, like you had stated, Owen, give a general overview of the project. It's this project involves a reconductor, which is going to be replacing wire for about 1.5 miles down Loudville Road, close to, I believe, the Westhampton border. Now, the whole purpose is of this Eversource project is to improve reliability and to just improve general safety and resilience of this electric line going through and supporting these customers in this area, and then further down the line that are basically all the customers that are fed in this area. Now, the way that it's done is, by replacing this wire, we are reconfiguring the configuration of the wire to what is called spacer cable. And the spacer cable reduces the number of tree-related incidents. And also from this reconductor, we will be replacing many of the poles with brand new poles, thicker poles that are able to stand more force if there's any tree-related incidents from a storm. These poles are better able to stand up and generally will hopefully reduce or decrease the outage time that is caused by storms in the area. Now, to give you a general idea, the reconductor is going to start right around here, up by the Manhan River, and come all the way down to this area here, around 183 Loudville Road. Now, to get into the poles in particular, so actually first, I just want to say Eversource is planning on replacing all of the poles along Loudville Road in this area. However, the majority of the poles are just going to be replaced in place or within 5 feet of the existing pole location. In particular, though, these poles that I wanted to bring up are the ones that are being relocated very far from the existing location. So, starting off, we have by the Manhan River, pole 100/63 is being relocated about 50 feet north. Again, like Owen stated, the whole reason for this is to reduce the span length of our spans in this area. A lot of these were set approximately like 45 years ago, and standards were different at the time. Because of that, they had some pretty long spans. And generally, when we have long spans like this, it leads to a lot of sag in the wires, which can bring it pretty close to other communications wires, which could cause some interference with, the communications attachments, as well as just provide a general safety issue to linemen working on these poles or near these lines. Especially in this area, it's a very heavily forested area. To move on, the next proposed pole is going to be a brand new pole in the midspan, pole 100/62M. Again, the whole idea is to reduce the spans. This continues in this general area by the Manhan River. We are replacing the next pole down in place. We'll be relocating the next pole after that, about 15 to 20 feet east, again, to reduce the span. Same with pole 100/60, relocating it approximately 100 feet east, and then installing a new midspan pole, again, to reduce our spans. As a note, too, all these poles are, if the pole is existing, it's not going to be set any closer to the road than the existing pole. If anything, some of these are going to be set a little bit further back from the road. Lastly, let's see. So moving forward, again, we have one other new midspan pole, this time at a slightly more developed part of Ladville Road, pole 100 over 54M. It'll be a new midspan pole set between 100 over 55 and 100 over 54. And this in particular is right by the corner of Drury Lane here. Once more, now we get to the very end of Ladville Road, or our reconductor area, which is around here, just past the corner of Ladville Road and Torrey Street. We will be relocating a pole 100 over 36, approximately 15 to 20 feet east, to reduce span lengths again, and then setting a new pole here on the corner of Ladville Road between pole 100 over 36 and 100 over 35. So that's a general overview of the project. And again, the reasons for these new pole installations and the relocations is just to improve safety and reliability in the line. We're really trying to reduce outage time and safety to both residents in the area as well as linemen who are working on the poles.
Thank you. Questions from either of the members? Councilor Kwasinski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Adam, JP Kwasinski here. I was wondering, certainly this looks like it's an improvement for the most part. The relocations, especially the one at Loudville and Torrey Street, it looks like it's set back some additional a little bit from the sight line, so it gives more sight line as you go up Loudville Road to see Torrey Street. On the other end of the project, at the very far end where the first pole was located, I couldn't tell, and it's a pretty dangerous area actually, as you climb that hill, to really stop and take a look at the poles, because the traffic's going pretty fast and it's very short lane. I don't know when the last time you were out there, but there's a pole that looks like it's about 10 or 15 degrees off kilter in that location. It may even be 20 degrees off. It looks like it's really in need of some help, and I wanted to be sure that pole was included. I really couldn't tell the number. I thought it was the first pole in the project, which would have been 163. But I thought it was like 164. I'm not sure. Did you say
Right.
you were going to replace all the poles going down to the Westhampton line, generally in place?
Yes. Sorry to cut you off there. Yes, that is correct. Here, I can show you, if you don't mind, I'll use Google Maps to kind of give you an idea of the area, if that's all right with you.
Sure.
So pole 100 over 63, the first one that we were requesting the petition for, is in approximately this area, just before the Manhan River here, the bridge. But all of the first pole that's going to be replaced is this pole right here. I believe it's 100 over 65.
Adam,
like
I
that.
just want to cut in. Are you sharing Google Maps right now?
Oh yeah, can you not see that?
No, you might have to. I don't know how that works. Do you unshare and then share again?
Yeah, let me give that a shot. 1 second. Right. Can you see that?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Apologies on that. So yeah, to go back over, the first pole that we're proposing, 100 over 63, the new location is approximately around here. Like I said, that's 100 over 63, just before the bridge near the Manhan River. But the beginning of the reconductor, the beginning of the pole replacements is going to start about here. And we'll be replacing every single pole in this area. So I'm not sure exactly which pole has the heavy lean on it, but I do remember seeing a couple of them right around this bridge area. They were leaning pretty nasty, and Eversource will be replacing those as well.
The one I was concerned most about was the one that's about halfway up the hill. If you go going up the hill.
Sorry, is that this way?
Yeah, that's Mineral Street, so no, you'd have to go in the other direction, I believe.
Ah.
It's good.
Yeah, apologies. Here, let me. Yeah, are you saying toward West Hampton?
No, toward Easthampton.
Toward Easthampton. Okay.
So if you take us toward
Yeah.
Easthampton, go ahead. About halfway up the hill.
I see.
Uh,
Oh yeah, this pole right here, right?
I can't see it on the. Yeah.
There
I
it
think,
is.
Yeah.
I think it's actually the one just down the hill from there.
Right. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay, good.
And I will say yes.
Yes. Okay, that will get replaced.
Yes. They will be replaced. Yes. That is correct.
The other question I had was, is it typical to go ahead and see the poles get set prior to permission from the community to set poles? The reason I mention that is I think it's like 183 Loudville Road.
Have they begun to set some of the poles in this area?
No, I'm sorry, 300 Loudville Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pole's already in, it looks like. And it looks like it's
okay.
been up for a while. There are several other poles on the street that are up. Most of the others look like they are replacements, are set to be replacements. The wires have not been connected yet onto the poles. But I just was wondering if it was
Right.
typical to go ahead and put the poles in before we do our thing tonight.
So, to be completely honest with you, this is my first time requesting a petition with any community, including yours. So,
We'll break you. We'll break you in.
fair enough. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure of EverSource's general procedure when it comes to these. My assumption would be that if they're replacing the poles in place, they may go ahead and do that.
Sure.
But again, I could, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. At least in terms of these new poles set, the relocation, my understanding is that EverSource will wait for the communities.
Any other questions?
So yeah, I just wanted to point out that P154M is in place.
Oh, it's that pole.
It's that pole, it stands, it's there. It's a new location that you're requesting tonight for us to approve and to go before the council and the community for approval. So that was my question, is it typical for the EverSource or the utility to go ahead and put the pole in before? Seems like putting the cart before the horse. But maybe that was a good reason, I didn't know if you knew.
No, to be completely honest, I did not know that they had set that pole. I don't believe it's generally a procedure. I could definitely follow up with more my representatives at EverSource just to be sure. But yeah, as far as I know, generally not procedure. However, if I would trust that there is most likely I'm assuming a safety-related reason that the construction would have to set the pole if they if we had not if we'd not gotten approval first.
Good, thank you, that's all, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, if you could just confirm that, it would be interesting to learn about why that might be up prior to the council voting on these new poles. I understand replacements, but it would just be helpful going forward with our relationship with EverSource to make sure that new poles that are proposed are not in place before we vote. But if you could confirm some sort of safety reason, that's totally understandable.
Of course, yeah. I will certainly follow up. I'll follow up with you and get back to you as soon as possible.
Great. Councilor Peak, any questions? My only...
If I may just also to put
Sure.
on the record that I did speak with as many residents as I could.
Great.
And it looks like the relationship was pretty congenial. In fact, the people who were doing the work had cut down some trees and talked to the neighbors, and so otherwise this seemed to be very congenial and good for the community.
Great. Thank you for your due diligence, Councilor Kuzinski. Adam, quick question, just in terms of overall scope. So when you pull up the first sheet with, you pull up the first page with that overlies the project scope with the 4 sheets. So you have a grouping of essentially 3 proposed poles being either moved or the mid spans, sheets 1, 2, 3, and then far to the west you have sheet 4. And I think you explained this, but what is happening in that span between sheet 3 and sheet 4? Are the poles that are there sufficient, or will there be plans to reconfigure the pole spacing at a future date for that span between sheet 3 and 4?
Great question. So sheets, the area from sheets 1 to 3 was generally just an area where we saw quite a few longer spans that is outside of our standards. Generally, we try to keep the spans to 175 feet. A lot of those poles around the Manhattan River area were closer to 250 or so. So that is why, emphasizing the relocations in that area. The rest of the poles, do have the sufficient span length that we require under 175 feet. So all those poles will be getting replaced in place. No major changes to the span lengths in that area. Try to keep, once Eversource sets poles, unless they absolutely need to, they generally do not move the location of the pole for a few different reasons. Mainly, I'd say just customer congeniality. It helps not change things up too much for the people in the area, and also just making significant changes like that also requires much greater cost. So leaving those poles exactly in place is the plan for that whole area between sheets 3 and 4. Like I said, though, every pole will be replaced. They'll just be replaced.
Great. And then a question that we always ask of these projects, which I actually learned from my significantly more tenured colleague to my right. So there's a couple poles, 100/54M, which is a new one, and 100/35M, and potentially the moving of 100/36. So those are all abutting or in front of or near to residential parcels, and I just wanted to make sure that it's been assured that those won't affect sight lines from residents' driveways at all.
No, I can confirm that they should not.
Okay.
Okay. Everything will also be located in the right of way. Yeah, no sight lines affected. The general goal was to keep it, as far away from driveways, as far out of an area that might affect, public safety, like in that area they're talking about, someone driving around the corner. The poles will still be visible from areas around the corner, things like that. And again, care is taken to keep it as far away from driveways.
Okay, wonderful. And then just to clarify one more time for the record, so the poles that are being either relocated or the mid-span poles that are being installed, that is because there is insufficient, or the spans are too long or lengthy right now, and that the other poles in place along Loudville Road are of acceptable span length, that you don't have to move them.
Yes, that's correct.
Wonderful. I don't have any more questions. Do either of the counselors have questions? Do any of the counselors have any concerns about this proposal? All right, then I will take a motion to make a recommendation to the full council for the proposal to move these 4 poles and install the 4 midspan poles.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilor Kwasinski and a second from Councilor Peak. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0 with no abstentions. Because there can't be any abstentions. All 3 of us voted. Okay, so Adam, the way this works, I don't know if it will be yourself or your colleague who I've been in communication with. So we have a meeting coming up in February for the full council meeting to actually vote on this proposal. That's February 7th at approximately 6:15. It may be slightly after that, depending on what other public hearings we have on our calendar. So our committee just voted unanimously to recommend this proposal, the moving of and of the poles, the installation of the midspan poles. We will then have the actual hearing for the full council vote on February 7th. So preferably either yourself or one of your colleagues can attend that meeting remotely, and I'll provide you all with those meeting links. That would be helpful because there may be clarifying questions or a brief request for a presentation, which I'll do my best to do, so you don't have to do this all again. But the attendance of an Eversource representative would be requested at that meeting to make sure that you can answer any questions from the 6 other members or 6 other colleagues who are not here.
Yes, if it's remote, then I will be able to attend. If you require in person, then my colleague Seal.
Yeah, everything's hybrid now, so if you're there, that's great. That's good continuity. Adam, do you have anything in closing that you wanted to share with us about this, just to pass along to the rest of the council? I feel you were pretty thorough in your presentation. I appreciate your attendance tonight. Is there anything else that you would like us to know going forward as we present this to the entirety of the council in a few weeks?
Nothing else from my side, no.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. We appreciate your attendance, and have a great night.
Thanks for hearing me out. Same to you.
Take care. We have no more items on the agenda. Are there any announcements from either of the members here tonight?
No.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilor Kwasinski, a second from Councilor Peak. All in favor?
Aye.
3-0 to adjourn at 6:28.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.